Okay, let's talk about Starbucks. I mean, we all know it, right? That green apron, the familiar smell, your go-to morning order. It's literally one of the most recognized brands on the planet. But what if I told you that the real story, the one that matters, isn't about coffee at all? It's a story that starts in a place you'd never expect, the public housing projects of Brooklyn. And to really get it, you have to hear it from the man himself, Howard Schultz. This one quote, this says everything. This isn't just a memory, it's the fuel. It's the engine that drove every single thing that came next. That deep down feeling of wanting to cross a line and build something that seemed impossible. And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's a tale of two completely different stories. On the left, you've got the brand we all see, the global icon of comfort and community. But on the right, that's the story you'd never guess. A story of poverty, of a family tragedy, and just a relentless, gritty resilience. So how do we connect these two worlds? All right, so let's start at the beginning. Our first chapter takes us on the journey from those housing projects in New York all the way to a little market in Seattle. This is where we see how some really tough times can actually create an unbreakable vision.
So let's just paint a picture here. Schultz grew up in subsidized housing. His dad was a veteran, a guy who worked a series of tough, low-wage jobs and never really caught a break. But the moment everything changed was in 1961. His father broke his ankle on the job, and poof, just like that, everything was gone. No income, no health insurance, no safety net, nothing. Can you imagine seeing that as a 7-year-old kid? That feeling of total helplessness? Yeah, that sticks with you.
And that right there is the key. His life's mission came directly from that family trauma. This was never just about getting rich. It was deeply personal. He wanted to build the exact opposite of what he saw, a company that would have treated his own father with the dignity and respect he was never shown. So he has this incredibly powerful personal mission, but how do you make it real? Well, as fate would have it, after he managed to get out of the projects and start a career, the answer was waiting for him in a cup of coffee on a business trip that would change everything.
So here's the quick and dirty timeline. You know, Starbucks wasn't always Starbucks. It started back in '71 as just a little shop selling coffee beans. Then, in 1982, Howard Schultz comes along. He was actually selling coffee makers and was blown away by how many this one little company in Seattle was buying. So he joins them. But the real lightning bolt moment? That happened a year later, on a trip to Milan.
He walks into these Italian coffee bars, and it's a total revelation. They weren't just places to get a quick shot of espresso. No, they were the living rooms of the neighborhood, a place for conversation, for community, and he learned there was a name for it, the third place. You've got home, that's the first place. You've got work, the second. And then you have this other essential space. And he just knew, instantly, America needed this. But here's the twist. He comes back from Italy all fired up with this game-changing idea. And his bosses, they just didn't get it, not at all. So to bring this vision to life, he was gonna have to face rejection, take a huge risk, and pretty much bet everything he had on this idea. He pitches his amazing vision to the Starbucks founders, and they shut him down. Flat out, nope, we sell beans, that's it. So what does he do? Does he give up? No way. He walks, he leaves Starbucks, starts his own little coffee bar called Il Giornale just to prove he's right. And guess what? He was right. It was a huge hit. So much so that just a few years later in 1987, he turns around, raises the money, and buys the very company that rejected him. How's that for a comeback story? Okay, so now he's got the keys to the kingdom. And this is the moment where those two stories we talked about, the Italian coffee dream and the promise to his father, finally merge into one powerful mission. And he didn't waste a second. Remember his dad's accident? Well, one of the first things he did was offer comprehensive health care to everyone, even part-time baristas. I mean, that was unheard of. Then he gave them stock options, he called it Beanstalk, and started calling them partners, not just employees. Free college tuition? It all goes back to that one memory, to giving his people the security his own family never ever had. And it all boils down to this one beautiful idea. It's a complete mindset shift. The coffee is just the vehicle. The real business is people. So, the big question. This all sounds great, right? A company with a heart. But did it actually work? I mean, from a business perspective, could all this purpose really lead to profit? Let's look at the actual numbers. Well, take a look at this. The growth is just mind-blowing. When he took the wheel in 1987, there were 11 stores. Just 11. Today, we're talking over 35,000 around the world. He didn't just grow a company. He created a global institution.
And if you're still not convinced, if you think that people-first stuff is just feel-good fluff, look at this number. From the company's IPO until his final departure, the total return to shareholders was, wait for it, over 21,000%. Let that sink in. That isn't just a success story. That's undeniable proof that building a company that values its people can also create unbelievable wealth.
So you see, the story of Starbucks is so much more than a business case study. It's a story about a kid from the projects who never forgot where he came from. He set out to build a company that would have made his father proud, and in doing so, he built a global empire. Which really leaves us with one big question to think about, doesn't it? Can a company's soul actually be its most valuable asset?